The thing is, uh, I didn't realize that you wanted me to speak today. Is that what you wanted? Okay. Oh, I didn't realize that, Esther. I just thought it's just a meeting to meet you all and you're all going to share or something. It's
No, no
okay.
problem. It's just what you
Yeah, yeah.
want to share.
Whatever God wants to. Yeah, if I'd
Yeah,
known, I would
yes.
have prepared something. But then, God, it's so beautiful to meet all of you, and it's such a joy. First thing I want to say is, young people are in my heart. Just as Dr. Lionel is giving his time, why senior people, Sharanya too now, she's also young, but still, why should you give it to young students? You're all just coming up, and why should we spend our time with young students? And you're not actually at our struggles are very different, our problems are different, your problems are different. Why are we doing this? This is because you are our future, you are the hope, and our God is a God of generations. God loves generations. Look at the Bible. Right through the Bible, you see, from Abraham right down, it's always family, 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 family. Sometimes you don't like when you look into Matthew's gospel and Luke's gospel and see that whole, level of so and so begot so and so begot so and so, so and so begot. So you say, oh, it's so boring, and you don't even want to look at it. But that is where God speaks. God tells you you are special, you are caring, you are my family, you are into my family, you've grown into my family. And that is why we know the worth and the interest God has in you, young people, as you emerge. Secondly, you are influencers. You are the ones who can talk to the other younger people. Today, you must be knowing, I'm right now in the United States. You must be knowing that here there is so much of gender confusion. Little children, if they feel like they are like the boys, the little girls are made to feel they are boys, and they're dressed like boys, they become like boys. They have started doing even mutilating surgeries and doing sex reversal surgeries. And this is tragic. And this is now catching up, I am told, even in India. It's coming in slowly. Whatever happens in the West comes to the East through our social media, through the computers. And you think there's something so advanced and it's so beautiful. And sadly, these are the things that Satan is inflicting into our world now. So it is important that you younger people stand apart. You younger people stand for what is right. The other day I was sharing how I'm here because of my little granddaughter who's just 9 years old, and she loves the Lord. Because my daughter, we talk to her about the Lord. She knows about the Lord. She has a strong faith in God. So she has a friend whose parents are also believers. So these kids get together and they say we are not able to gel with the other children because the way they think is different from the way we think. Even at the age of 9, these children are able to notice that. They're able to say there's something different, something totally wrong by the way the others are thinking, the others are planning. That is why Sharanya, Dr. Lionel, myself are trying to get you all together, and you must be feeling it. You don't gel with many of the others in your own college. The way they think about the world life systems, the way they choose their partners in marriage, the way they practice their corruption, the way they worship money as God, and society, they want to make a name, they want to make a name and fame and money, they think is the most important. But your value system is entirely different. And you're noticing there's something wrong. There's something very different. The path that we are taking doesn't go with the path that you are going, the others are going. And that is what my granddaughter says. At the age of 9, she's able to recognize there's something very different the way they are thinking. and our thinking is different. And these kids who come from godly homes in America are getting together. They are finding, that is why revival is breaking out. Revival breaks out when these children who know the Lord get together and pray. Revival breaks out. Today, I know there is persecution in India. We are praying. In UP, there's intense persecution. And I know that one of the pastors who was with me, who was praying with us, who was with us, suddenly, all of a sudden, because he was visiting Manipur and giving money to Manipur, he was arrested. He was put in jail. For 47 days, he was kept there. But he wrote such a he was telling us such beautiful incidents, which I wrote. Maybe I will post it to you all on your link. It was touched even the persecution relief was very moved by what he wrote. He said, even though the first day when he was put there, first 2 days it was terrifying because they were with criminals. They were with people who were terrible. The system, the hygiene of the toilet system was unbearable, he was saying. And he was an amazing man of God called Dr. Manoj Jacob. He is a PhD, but he was put there, treated like, but what he did is he found another believer. Then they found another believer. Then quietly, they all knew when they found one or two believers, they got together. And then when there was so much of riots and anger and going on inside the prison cells, they started praying, quietly praying. When they started praying, they got together. Then they started singing, and the other prisoners began to listen to them, and they began to talk to them. Slowly, the whole prison cell turned into a gospel meeting. Within a few weeks, every day it was gospel meeting. Not only in the prisons, every prison cell, they will pass on the message to the other prison cell, and they started praying, and they started having a prayer meeting, that the guards and the people outside began to watch. They started listening, and they would tell them, Jesus is the way. You can do what you want. We are not worried. But let me tell you, Jesus is the way. They were fearless, they were bold, there was joy. Because 24 hours they were praying and preaching, and they said they've never had such powerful gospel meetings anywhere as inside the jail. There was joy. And that is why we see Paul, when he wrote his letter to the Philippians, that is again full of joy. There is such joy there, because the most joyful situation is when you are crushed, when you are put together, when you are oppressed, when people ridicule you, when people try to block you, when people put you in chains. That is when the beauty of the Lord, the presence of the Lord comes. So when, excuse me, I'm sorry, when people try to bring in other values, other systems, try to crush you, try to make you feel that you are not a great person. You're not a wonderful person. We are the smart ones. You're not smart. You're not good. They try to belittle you. You have to remember you are the king's daughter. You are prince and princesses. You are made with a special purpose, and the King of glory is with you. And the King of glory will not let you down. Recently, just on April 8th, few days back, we saw the solar eclipse. We saw how the whole sun, the moon comes in front of the sun, and the whole sun's rays are blocked. Almost it was a total eclipse in the US. And for the first time, I saw everywhere in midday, suddenly everything began to become dark. And we saw that there were not even a bird chirping, an eerie quietness, a stillness. It was very sudden. And then we all had special glasses, and we could see so beautifully how the moon was moving gently, gently. The sun was moving, and how the sun was totally blocked by the moon. It was just an awesome spectacle. We realized we are nothing. Here we are on the ground, tiny specks of dust on earth. Huge planets are crossing in front of us. Huge, mighty planets. And if one milli fraction it moves the other way, we can all be smashed. The whole system can be gone. But yet, God created us and we are watching. But it was sad that though there were many wonderful people were praying and they were so wonderfully they're happy to watch this, there were other people so frivolous, you know. Some of them, 50 people, they got married. They were saying "I do" at that time. They're looking into the skies and saying "I do." It, and marriage is something so special, so spectacular, something so beautiful that you and your partner say before God. And here they're looking at, but still they're looking at God's heavenly vision and saying, I do. And they want something spectacular marriage at a spectacular moment to them, and not looking at the commitment. But still, America was watching. Whole America watched. They are arrogant. Many of them are arrogant. They think they can do what they want. They think they can change the gender of children. They are so proud. They're questioning the Bible. And they're wondering, what is this Bible all about? And there's so many things they're trying to disprove the Bible. But even such people saw the God of creation. They saw a God of creation is mighty. He's powerful. There is order. There is methodicity. There is no confusion. And they watched that with their own eyes. And that was so beautiful, so humbling for us. Even the news channel reporters were saying they were weeping. And they said it is so humbling to see such a powerful thing right in front of our eyes. And this was the beauty of God's creation. And God says, I made this. Don't mess it up. Listen to me. I'm talking to you. And he says, all these lunar eclipses and all these eclipses have a meaning. They have something to say that a time will come when all these are material. What all these which God created are material. But what God created is eternal. So if you look at Genesis chapter 1, what do we see there? We see that in the beginning was the Word. God said, God said the Word. He said, let there be light. And there was light. Our God is a speaking God. He speaks. And that's how it happened. And he said, and it is said, and he said, and it was so. And he said, and it was so. Throughout we see he's a speaking God. That is why John writes, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God, and the Word was made flesh, and Word was God, and He dwelt among us. So when you look at Genesis chapter 1, you see first material things. The what God created, we're all material, but God is imperishable. He is he is spiritual. He's not material. And that is why he wants to make man also non material and spiritual like him. And that is why he gives us a material world. See, the scientists say, God says, let there be light, but only on the fourth day he creates the sun and the moon and the lights. How can this be? So the Bible is not right. Bible is questionable. Science and Bible don't go together. If the sun is created later and he creates the light beginning, how can this be? But today you and I know the truth because knowledge is increasing. We know that these are material lights. The sun, moon, stars, they are material lights. The planets are material lights. But God Himself is light. So that is why in Revelation we read, He's going to say there will be no more sun, no more moon. God Himself will be there. So that's the light. That's not material light that can be perishable, but it is a light that is imperishable, everlasting. So when that light dawns on the world, the darkness goes. That is why in the Garden of Eden, God created Garden of Eden with rivers, and He created the trees and the leaves. They're all material. And then God said He dwelt with man. He walked with them. He came there. And later, when Man sinned and he had to be kicked out of the Garden of Eden. God rescues man, God brings out man, and then, through Abraham, through Noah, he brings man, and then he teaches them through Moses to make a tabernacle because God wants to live in our hearts with us. He stays in the tabernacle. The Shekinah glory comes into the tabernacle. People still don't understand the presence of God, but at the tabernacle, they saw the awesomeness of God. He spoke to them. The whole place, nature trembled. There was, this Mount Sinai quaked. There was like volcano eruption, like you could see the smoke, and that's only through nature God was speaking to them. So he stayed and tabernacled with them. And then what happened? God came to tabernacle into our hearts. He sent Jesus in that pattern of the tabernacle where you had the mercy seat, where he says that that you can walk into the mercy seat only with the blood. He teaches them how to, through the blood of people, you can get redemption from sin. And then he says, blood of animals is not enough. My once and for all, I will give you my blood, and your tabernacle has to be inside your heart. So he teaches mankind how he comes into our heart, and then he himself becomes the Passover lamb, and he dies for us, and he becomes our God, and he tabernacles with us. And now he's going to take us back to another garden in Revelation. But that garden again, it's not material, but it is again spiritual, where there's going to be an everlasting river, everlasting leaves, everlasting fruits. You and I, where the lamb and the lion will be together. There will be no more tears. There will be no material sun and moon, but there will be God Himself will be the light. So what a coherence there is in the Bible. How powerfully He talks. I just took you through the Bible right now in just few minutes, but you see the coherence. You see His plan. That is the map. That is the Google map that I gave you of Bible, from creation of man right to Revelation, where we will be with Him together. He has given us the map. He has given us everything. And He says, I am going to come. I am going to be with you. I am going to live with you forever. I want to tabernacle with you. What a God. Why should He want you and me? Look at our own hearts. Sometimes we are sinful. We are jealous. We get upset, or we get anxious. We question, are you really there? Or is this all truth, or is this reality? When we want something to happen in our future. We want to pass our exams, or we want to go for higher studies. We want a higher position. We want our higher MD seat or MS seat. And if we don't get it, we say, what's the point of serving you? I've been praying to you. I've been coming for the fellowship for so long. You're giving the unbelievers a good MD seat and MS seat, but you're not giving it to me. You know, we question like this. We fight for silly things because we are material. These are perishable things. He knows our future. He has a greater plan for us. He has a greater future for us. And He will take you into that powerful position which you will never understand. I know when Balaji Medical College, that's where I was, and that's where I met Sharani. I was my student. I knew these students when they were young. They used to question. They say, what is Balaji? Because it was just starting, you see. At that time, it was about 20 years now, I think, Sharanya, I think at that time they used to look at Balaji and say, what is Balaji? Why did my parents put me here? I don't know what I will do. I don't know what my future will be. I don't know, these private medical colleges have no respect. Everybody laughs at us. They say you pay money and you can get in. Even if you're a dud, you can get in. What is this college? So I used to tell them, you are here for a purpose. You are here because God put you here. You are here because God gave you parents who can afford that money. Not every parent can afford that money. And you are here with parents who long to give you a future, who are cribbing, who are collecting every bit of their money and investing it in you to give you a future. It is a purpose. So don't look at it like that. Don't look at it with disdain. Don't look at it as what is this. Today, the same biology students are doing so well. Look at them. Many of them have gone overseas. Sharanya is also going now. Many of them are now, biology has come up so well. Many of them, within 20 years, they see the difference. They are doing so well and they are very happy. See, God doesn't let you down. God is with you. They may have started, see, our ministers could have started it with their, black money or whatever it is. But that's not the point. God is concerned about you. God has put you here for a purpose, and God is going to look after you. He is going to take you to levels which is beyond your thinking, beyond your imagination. So you have to be faithful in what you do, faithful to your studies, faithful to your friends around you, faithful to the classmates around you. You won't see them again, but the word that you put into their hearts, that Jesus is the only person who can be with you. Jesus will never leave you. Jesus will be with you. That is what will keep you going. Like my little granddaughter, 9-year-old, met another classmate of hers. Her classmate, her a little girl again, another 9-year-old. That comes from a home in America. It's very easy. They divorce, parents divorce, and they marry another one. So she has a home. That girl had a home where there are, she comes from another mother, another father, and so the child was always getting into trouble. So she turned to my granddaughter and asked her, why is it I'm always getting into trouble? I'm not like you girls. Then my granddaughter told her, get a Bible, read the Bible. So this little girl asked her parents for a Bible. So this is how you share. And so that girl went and told her parents, who parents are already divorced and married to other people. They said, what is this Bible you want? In America, this little girl told her, get a Bible. And then that girl insisted, I want a Bible. And so she got a Bible. So if 9-year-olds can talk about the Bible to each other and bring in peace in your life, how much more you medical students have to share with each other and tell them there is peace only if you follow the Bible and the words of the Bible and what God has given, the blueprint that He has given. He says, my peace I live with you, not as the world giveth. And that is the peace, a peace that will never go. And I will be with you unto the ends of the world, unto the ends of the earth. This is the God we worship. This is the God we bow down to. Kings and everyone will come down and bow down to this God. And people say, why is it that that God allowed evil? Why did God allow evil? That's the question. That's why we can't believe God. That's why we can't believe Jesus. If God was so wonderful, why didn't He, if, when He saw evil, why didn't He destroy the evil? The Bible say He dwells among the darkness. If there are this verse in Isaiah where it says that darkness surrounds Him. Why? He goes there and He brings in the light. God brings in the light. Once He comes there, the darkness disappears. So He goes to dark places to shine His light and to dispel the darkness. But if we wanted to remove the entire darkness, you and I would have had no chance. You and I too would have been finished off. You and I won't be alive here because there is darkness in our hearts too. So He's giving us time. He's so gentle, He's patient, He's long suffering. He wants all of us. He wants none to perish. That is why He is not eliminating the darkness once and for all. He's giving us a chance to accept the light and to shed our light. We can take our little candle and shine it everywhere. And when we shine those lights, that the darkness will flee. And this is why I was telling Esther, I'm trying to get all other medical colleges also together to have a Zoom meeting. I don't believe in Zoom, I agree, Zoom is the, you don't have the personal touch with people. If you become lazy and you just want to go into Zoom, but there is advantage with Zoom. Once in a month, if you have a Zoom like this, you can get in people from other medical colleges, people from other continents, other people to get together and pray and encourage each other and share what is happening in our medical college. What is our struggle? So I'm praying. I was wanting to tell Dr. Lionel also this. It'll be very good to get the leaders from other medical colleges, just the leaders at least, to share what is your problem, what is the problem with your medical group. And we know right now Muthukumaran is doing very well with so many meetings, and that is so wonderful. And this is because God brought in people like Lionel and Sharanya and keeping them there with a purpose, with that burden and with that interest to encourage you all. So same way, we are praying how you should encourage others. And this is what happened when God led me to, when I grew up in CMC Velo. In CMC Velo, we had a wonderful group like you all. And we had one Dr. Garlic who is to open his house to us, and that's how we grew. Then when I wanted to start something, when I at that time I saw in MMC, Stanley, Keelpok, there was no medical fellowship at all. So I went to MMC for my MD in anesthesiology, and I was shocked. I said, "There's nothing happening like CMC." So the same way I was praying, and I managed to get some few students, and we started a fellowship. Then we went and revived the MMC, went and helped the Stanley, which was struggling, and that blossomed. Then Stanley went and met, and all of them went and met the Kilpock, and that blossomed. So soon, once a month, we started having in MMC chapel itself. We got all the leaders, all the little groups to meet together once in a month in MMC, and all Stanley, MMC, Kilpock, all used to meet together. And it was such a wonderful time of encouragement to everyone. So it is vital that we do things like this, that we encourage each other. God has placed you here with a purpose. And so, God be with you all. I will pray for you all, and I will be with you all, and God will lead you all. Okay? Thank you. God with you.